Alrighty. So, here we go. We're gonna be recording a first episode for Lies of P. The actual start of the game is the exact same, actually, as the demo.
We need your help.
So the first couple episodes may be a bit familiar to anybody who's watched the demo. I have played about 15 hours of the main game. I have not finished it, but I've gotten
There you are.
very familiar with how
All over for you.
a lot of things work in it, and I feel confident to start doing some of this.
I see they got Jiminy too, but we have to hurry. My name is Sophia. Please come to Hotel Krat, and I'll explain what's happening. Jiminy, please escort him to the hotel. Let's get you out of there. Find something that might help.
So, for anyone who does not know, Lies of P is basically a steampunk twist on the classic, Pinocchio fairy tale. And in terms of speed, it's very similar to like FromSoft's Bloodborne. It plays a lot like a FromSoft title, although I do find the difficulty to be easier. Right here, we're going to pick our starting class. There are only 3 options, but it does determine your starting stats. I did not realize that initially when picking, but the path I went for in my personal playthrough, I ended up very happy with.
But the streets are not safe. Arm yourself with one of the weapons over there. It'll be helpful on your way to the hotel.
So, you have 3 options. Either a mix between strength and dex or strength. And I didn't notice the switch display button because, yeah, that's that's what your starting stats would be. We are going to go with the balance because I favor quick attack with as much damage output as possible, basically. I don't like really slow, heavy swings, but I don't care for sitting there repeatedly stabbing 1,000 times just to put down one enemy. So we'll go middle ground. And for the most part, this world is fairly dark, but entertaining nonetheless. So much like Bloodborne, it does have a rally system that, although it is tweaked, it's more like Lords of the Fallen, really. When you block, you don't technically take the damage, and you can regain your health if you attack back fast enough. However, if you block and then get hit, anything that you would have lost when not blocking, plus the damage from the hit gets removed. So hypothetically, if you block all the way to your health bar being able to be one shot by an enemy and then get hit, you could technically lose all your health just by that. It's if that makes sense how I kind of explain it, but so weapon durability is a thing. That's what the bar above your sword and handle, or blade and handle, I guess, is on the bottom right. The way you regain that is this item on the left is your grindstone, and you just do that, and the lower the bar gets, the longer you have to sit there and grind on it to get it back up to full durability. I don't notice a difference in damage output, as long as your weapon still has durability. I have not let that bar get below 50% though, just to be safe, because I'm mildly paranoid like that. If you do a perfect block, your health does not do that. I want to say wither thing, but that's the Lords of the Fallen reference. You can do backstab, like, you know, Dark Souls titles. Of course, you always want to explore everywhere that you can. So this door up here is locked for now until we get back around and defeat. You can't see him very well, but there's a big guy on the other side of that door that is kind of a pain. When I played the demo, he delivered me probably my first death, or maybe 3, if I'm being honest. So now we have a couple of different enemy types that appear. You're introduced to the ranged gunners, and obviously we've killed a few of these basic melee guys. There's someone somewheres. I could have swore there was... there they are. Had the wrong archway for them. So thermite is a throwable, basically your firebomb. There are all sorts of elemental and basic throwing weapons. They do come in handy because I notice your range is ridiculous. And it's really hit and miss, like if running up behind an enemy will alert them. Sawtooth wheel is one of your throwables. That was a perfect block. It does the red flash and makes that metallic clang sound when you get a perfect block. Nice thing about a perfect block is, depending on weapon stats, like, you can break your opponent's weapons. Okay, so the blue bars underneath the health and stamina bars in the upper left is basically your fable, is what it's referred to. It's essentially your mana. It allows you to do unique things with your weapons. Like, oh. We're going to do this and equip this, and one of these items is equal to 1 full bar of Fable. The pulse cell, I should have said this earlier, that's your healing. I mean, you can have a little bit of a lamp if you want. There are things that, like, the lamp will change its glow color, but we'll run into the first one of those probably next episode. Depends on how far we get with this one. So this guy is a pain. As you see, he is significantly stronger than anything else we've run into so far. Okay, so when enemies have that white on their health bar, you can stagger them for a critical attack. And boom! It was not near as much of a pain as I expected. So to stagger for a heavy attack, I mean, it's fairly standard combat for these days. You got your R1, or if you're playing on Xbox, LB, and then, no, RB. It's been a while since I've had an Xbox. And then your heavy attack is your R2 or RT on Xbox. Picked up a key. We also did pick up a defensive item. So what you wear does not affect your defensive stats at all. Your defensive stats are figured by your defense parts. Like, as far as your outfit, you can wear whatever you want, whatever you feel is appropriate for you. Yeah, it's kind of goofy. Actually, you know what? I like the look of that and this. So we're going to go with that for now. But you've got total freedom with what you want to wear, which is kind of nice. So these here are your stargazers. If you're familiar with souls, your bonfires. They regenerate your health.
Called a stargazer. A
Refill your pulse cells.
Puppet threshold exceeds danger estimates. Please reduce puppet numbers or reset danger parameters.
As we are not strong enough to beat the puppets. But if I lent my power to this stargazer for a moment. Gather ergo, clever one. This stargazer will make you stronger. But the stargazer's strength doesn't last forever, so be careful with it. Hurry up and come to Hotel Krat.
So what she basically just said is that for now, we can level up at stargazers, but when we get to where we're going after the first boss, that is going to change. So I'm going to put point in health and point in stamina for starters. You do have a storage box that basically anything you don't want to carry on you or anything that you reached your carry capacity on, because items have different carry capacity. They'll go into your storage box and you'll just... When you rest at a stargazer, like, if you can carry 5 of a defensive potion of sorts, and you have 4 of them, but you got 1 in your storage. When you rest, that 1 in your storage will automatically be added to your active inventory. So it's kind of nice that you don't have to remember to re-add stuff when you rest. Go into here. So Ergo is the name of the currency in this. And we'll use one of our fragments to get us enough to level up again. We'll throw 1 in our motivity, which is basically our strength. Basically, HP, stamina, carry capacity, strength, dexterity. There's not a luck one. An advance basically buffs elemental defenses and your legion arm usage capacity, which is your L2 attack. We don't have anything special equipped for a legion arm yet, so right now it just does a punch. So careful when approaching this guy, because there's an enemy that you can see the glowing eyes of just above my head. So far, in this zone, dogs are not so bad, but they do get progressively worse. I'm going to equip one of our basic throwing items, because there are 2 enemies here, and sometimes focusing on one, I didn't realize that he would get up too. Sometimes focusing on one opens you up to getting attacked from behind with the other one. Yeah, and then that there is when enemies become kind of rough. Is when you got 2 of them that have clipped into each other. So when you try to block one and attack back, the other one attacks, and it's not a lot of fun, so it's best to try your best to create some distance between them. Totally knew he was there. So that is a shortcut which we will open up later. Ooh. First real damage. Unless I'm mistaken, which I could be. Yeah, the enemy AI in this is not the brightest, most intelligent thing, but I've definitely seen dumber. So up here, around the corner, and down a little ways, we'll be introduced into another mechanic of the game. When enemies glow red, it is an unblockable attack, so you gotta dodge out of the way. And if you don't get the direction you're supposed to dodge right, a lot of times you will still get hit. Yeah, like that. That is the unblockable I mentioned. Sometimes you can stagger them out of it, as you saw there. And occasionally with enemies, like, you can try and get around them and get behind, that's fine. But I notice what works for me is the tried and true stab and back up method. I can't remember. Oh. Okay. So that up there is where we're trying to get to. But we still have a little ways to go and a boss fight to get through before we can get up there. So do be careful when going to approach this guy. There's a gunner that you can't see right around the corner. Right there. And you can block bullets. And blocking bullets is treated the exact same way as blocking a melee attack. If you get your timing right, you get a perfect block, and all is saved. You can do drop attacks. So I have not really found a use for that item yet, and you do pick up multiples of those. I'm guessing if it's just in the game, like if you're not paying attention and your weapon durability goes all the way down, you can use that to quote-unquote save your weapon. But that's about the only use I have found for it. Well, and I haven't needed to use it either. Yeah, there is someone behind us. But they are slow. Which enemies do kind of speed up a little bit the further you get into it. And then this... Honestly, it is kind of a useless shortcut unless you're having trouble with the boss. Because, like, this takes us back to here. Like, they're really good at making, you know, fairly useful shortcuts. The only reason I say this one is kind of useless, I will show you in a minute after we go down here and grab this item and kill this doggo. Is because come this way, and you see the blue glow, you have another stargazer right here. And the boss is right through that door up there. So this thing is something, if you want to, you can practice your dodge timing on. Like, if you get close enough to it. Oh, yep, sometimes it does that. Its punches don't really hurt, but if you feel like you need practice with dodge timing, you can sit there and, you know, practice. So that item we just picked up is basically showing you what the boss is going to be. It is the Parade Master puppet. Yeah, it doesn't really give you any good insight on how to beat it, but it does show you what it's supposed to have been.
Hello there. Welcome to Krat, visitor. I didn't think
We
there were any
do-
stalkers left to fight the puppets.
We do encounter a few of these wandering
The
merchants.
whole organization fell apart. All that's left are wannabes and amateurs. You ought to buy something while you're at the festival. You can't rely on yourself alone. Out here alone, you could use some help. Here's a...
So basically, whatever weapon you didn't pick in the start, you can purchase here. You can also purchase this, which adds electrical damage to your weapon, and this is basically your hint on how to get past the boss, is the electric damage. This is basically an electric bomb to use. You never go wrong with these, in my opinion. They're nice to have.
Out
I
here
didn't realize how much ergo we had. Should be able to get a couple of levels. We'll throw them both into health for now, just because having that reserve health is always nice. We come up here, open this door. And we get introduced to our first boss. Looking at the time, I'm thinking if we take this guy down, we'll go get into the hotel and then go from there, call it. So he may be massive, but he is just as blockable as all the other enemies. Yeah, except for that. Something to note is kind of like how your health does that going down thing. Enemy health does the same. So like you see how where the red is and then there's a different shade? That is what his health will regen if you just run from him and try to not fight him for a while. Yeah. Yep, and bosses you can even do that dagger on. And I swear they brought the difficulty down from the demo. Because in the demo, he beat me like 10 times. But, you know, went down fairly easy. most bosses, when you beat them, you will get a stargazer in their arena. This guy you don't, because basically your hub world is right up the stairs. Yeah.
One more thing I should mention. The hotel's security excludes puppets like you. So you'll have to lie to get inside. You're a special puppet after all.
So Hidden Moonstone is your upgrade item for basic weapons. With it, you can get your weapons up to a +3, and then you need, like, I think it's Crescent Moonstone, and then you can get to +6, and then Half Moonstone, and I don't know what's beyond that yet.
Welcome to the sanctuary of the Grand Covenant. Prove your identity. Who are you?
If you say puppet here, it's not going to let you in and you have to try again. So in this instance, you are forced to lie.
Grand Covenant's fourth law. A puppet cannot lie. Welcome to Hotel Krat.
And honestly, I'm not entirely sure the outcome of, lying versus being honest yet. I assume, based on, lies to honesty, it's going to tweak the ending of the game. But I don't know for sure. In my personal playthrough, I think I've taken out 11 or 12 of the bosses that are in this game. And there's a total, I think, of 22. That guy right there you'll recognize later on, because that is Geppetto, our creator/father. And basically this is giving you somewhat of a brief history overview of Krat, which is the city we're in. And then the puppet frenzy starts, and I don't know, the best way to look at it in my mind is like everybody has this modern fear these days of, when computers rise up and overtake the world, and it basically is the angle they're going for with the puppets. And then this is your hub, and essentially this game's version of the Blue Fairy.
I'm I'm so happy to see you. I am Sophia. I've been waiting for you. Searched all over the city of Krat to find you. You must have questions. Geppetto will have answers, but we have to find him first. He was last seen on Elysian Boulevard. All of Krat is dangerous for humans, and that neighborhood is one of the scariest. Please find Geppetto on Elysian Boulevard. I'll explain more once you find him.
So now, instead of being able to level up at Stargazers, we have to come back
Look at Gemini. I think he's in shock.
and use her to level up.
That's proof you're broken. The real Gemini isn't so calm. I'm no inventor, but perhaps I can fix him. Or perhaps he'll fix himself in time. Wait, take this pocket watch. Krat is a labyrinth of peril right now. This watch will guide you to a safe place. Be careful, clever one. I'll use my power to help you.
And yeah, that's the only hint that you have to level up using her now, is that you talk to her and then you see level up option, because like the next time you rest at a Stargazer, you won't have the level up option. And I did not, when I played the demo, realize this. So I was confused for a long time trying to figure out how I'm supposed to level up again. And it was as simple as basically going to a firekeeper. Quick rundown of this place, that way from the next episode we can just take off. We have basically our blacksmith over here. This will be unlocked later on. This is our merchant. And the hotel owner is this crazy old lady over here. We'll go over here, and I think from her we get our first legitimate Legion arm.
I heard about you from Geppetto, but to see you in person... Wow. You should take this. Geppetto left it with me.
And so this is pretty useful in enemy separation. Basically, you shoot it out at an enemy and it yanks them towards you. So if you got two that are side by side and you want to quickly separate them, it's beautiful for that.
Must be something else. A custom arm from Geppetto himself is quite an accessory. Oh, I forgot to introduce myself. I am Eugenie from the Workshop Union. I know my way around weapons of all kinds. I'm sure Master Geppetto would agree. If any of your weapons need work, bring them to me. I know my way around a weapon.
So, weapons are all, other than boss weapons, they're all in two parts. Your blade, or a hammer, or, whatever, and the handle. And what I've noticed is that the blade part doesn't have any sort of effect on how a weapon swings. It's only the handle that matters on the swing. Right now we are going to put an upgrade into this for now. Later on, we will find different cranks, which will make it so that our weapons, well, our handles scale because our handles are what give us the scaling. You can make it scale however you want. Once you find the corresponding crank. Everybody you can talk to typically has something to say. This is kind of a training ground of sorts. Obviously, you can't yank something that's bolted to the ground, but if you need practice with a weapon or something, you can always come into this area, practice on the dummies, get a feel for it, decide if it's something you want to use before continuing on. You can teleport to stargazers as well. Any of them you've unlocked. Oh, and like if there's something important that can happen at a location, like someone that wants to talk to you, like at the hotel right here, you see the picture of the old woman. Tells you she wants to have a conversation.
Unexpected guests are welcome. We don't insist on reservations.
She also is
And this
starting to succumb to a disease that is affecting humans.
From the moment we met that you're Geppetto's puppet. It's a shame. If it doesn't turn up soon, we'll have to make a new coffin. Oh, I forgot. I was keeping this for him. It comes with a long story. Please find that old man. And do take care of yourself out there.
Yeah, you can do emotes and stuff. She gave you a new outfit, but
Welcome to
not super useful.
Please let me at Hotel Krat. Welcome to Hotel Krat.
This guy, for now, he's not going to say anything super useful. Another nice thing is that you can sell directly from storage if you want to, but... So, not every boss gives you their ergo. And most of them that I've encountered, all but one of them that I've encountered so far that does, you can sell it for 5,000. But if you hold on to it until an area significantly, well, not significantly, but quite a ways down the road, you will find a adventurer merchant of sorts that will trade for either a weapon or an amulet for each of the boss ergos. And the boss weapons cannot be split apart. Once we pick up another weapon, you'll really start to see what I mean by that, because I'll walk you through that. But as of right now, we are going to sell this one because it gets you a great sword that does do some fire damage, but I really prefer not doing the great sword path, just because my playstyle is quick and
I'll use my power to
whatnot, so your mileage may vary, but we'll throw some more points. Basically, I want to do somewhat of a balance between HP, stamina, strength, and dex. There is a weapon that I plan on us getting later on that scales best off of Dex, but it does still scale fairly well off of Strength. Hence why I want to do the balance. Plus, extra stamina and extra HP is always a good idea in these style of games. But we are going to wrap up this first episode right here. And we'll see you later.